Hey everybody, welcome back to the 100 days of the 2026 NEC code changes. We're still in Article 406, which covers wiring devices. I had to make sure I said that right. And we're going to talk about 406.12, general requirements. This material used to be in 406.4 if you're following along in an older version of the book. You don't have your 26 yet. 406.4 is what it used to be. Now it's 406.12. Let's go ahead and jump into it and see what it says. So Article 406, wiring devices. 406.12, general requirements. The allowances for replacing receptacles without GFCI protection were reduced. Okay, so 406.12d. Receptacle replacements must comply with the following requirements. And any AFCI or GFCI type receptacle must be installed in readily accessible locations. All right, so here's really what we're talking about. If replacements are made at locations that now require GFCI protection, the replacement must be GFCI protected as well. Okay, so this is at my brother's house, and if you know where it is, put it down in the comments if you know where Canyon Ferry Lake is. But anyway, here's my brother's house. His place was built in probably 2005, something like that. And in his garage, there is a single receptacle that is not GFCI protected. That was allowed up until the 2008 code. So this is a compliant installation. However, if they decided to change that receptacle, it would now have to be a GFCI protected receptacle, right? That's what this rule says. If replacements are made that now require GFCI, replacement must be GFCI. However, replacing the receptacle with another just like it is allowed if all the following apply. Number one, the size of the outlet box is too small for installing a GFCI. I don't know how often that applies anymore. I saw a particular manufacturer of receptacles, I don't remember who it was, but they have a GFCI now that is very thin. I mean, it would fit in all but the very smallest of boxes. So normally I think number one is going to boot you right out of the exception. Number two, not only is that box too small, but every box upstream on the same circuit is also too small. And number three, a GFCI circuit breaker cannot be installed. Number three, again, I paraphrase the code, right? I don't just copy and paste what the actual code text says. But let's go ahead and take a look, because if I go to NFPA link 406.12, I think it's D3. Number 3 says a GFCI circuit breaker cannot provide the required GFCI protection. Well, it can always provide the required protection, right? You might have to do a panel change, but it would always be possible. So I don't think that's what this means. What I think it's trying to say is, if your panel board is one like this, where it's fuses, well, then we're not going to make you change the whole panel to add a GFCI, to add GFCI protection. But this exception has gotten very, very limited indeed. And like I said, I think if you have a modern outlet, if you had a modern outlet box, if you have an outlet box of any substantial size at all, there are GFCIs on the market now that can probably fit inside of them. So I think this exception has just about gone the way of the dodo bird. All right, so with that in mind, there you go. Pretty straightforward requirement, right? If you replace a receptacle, you got to replace it with a GFCI if the code now requires it to be GFCI, unless you meet the exceptions in 1, 2, and 3, and you're probably not going to. So, all right, there you have it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video where we talk about receptacles again. We'll see you then. Thanks, everybody.